Sorting. You're going to do everything in this video, from the effect of the pixel sorting to the masking behind the camera and hands to the noise just on her and not on the background, and applying a fun gradient map to her as well. So asking a little bit more throughout most of these checkpoints as we're nearing one of the final projects. So just getting used to more of a workflow and adding of things in Photoshop. Okay, so how do we do this? Download your pictures from the checkpoint, then just drag and drop them like so. Okay, so we're going to be working with this one first, and it's fine if it starts out in its own document. So the effect that we're doing is going to look like this when we're done. Let me show you on this one. So you can kind of see, right? This is why it's called pixel sorting. These pixels have been stretched or sorted. So that is what we are going to do to this. And it does it from, the filter effect does it from the left to the right or from the right to the left. So judging by the kind of picture you have, you kind of have to think, okay, what's the orientation that I want? And because we have trees that are going, straight up and down, vertical, I'm not going to want to apply this effect to the left or to the right. I need to do it vertical, so I need to change the orientation of this. So Command T, hold your Shift button and just drag it like so to the right, hit Enter. Now we need to fix the canvas or the document. So we're going to go to our crop tool over here, and as soon as you click on one of the edges, you see the rest of the picture come into view. So we're just going to crop it to the picture from the left and the right and from the top and the bottom, like so. And then hit Enter. Now, typically when we're applying a filter, I always ask that you turn it into a smart object first, but this is one of the occasions not really necessary. So we're going to go to Filter, Stylize, and Wind. This is the effect we'll be using multiple times. So we're not going to use, even though this is called wind, right, and it's obviously meant to simulate wind, we're going to use it in this kind of pixel sorting, surrealistic kind of technique here. So choose Stagger, and we're going to go from the left. Now hit OK. Now it only did it a little bit, as you see. We're going to apply this about 10 to 15 more times here real quick. So you can go up to Filter and just keep clicking on the previous filter that was used, or uptick Command F, and that uptick is just Control. So Control, Command, and F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Now we're going to go back up to Wind again, Stylize, Wind, and we're going to use Wind this time. We're going to do it from the right to kind of push some of those pixels back the other way. We'll hit OK, and then we're going to go back one final time, Stylize, Wind, and we're going to go to Stagger from the left again, and we're going to apply it like pretty much another 15 or so times. So Control, Command F, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's zoom in and see. Yeah. This is pretty good because we're also going to stretch this as well. So this is a good amount here. So we can take this, drag and drop it, hit OK here. I'm going to unlock the girl. And because we'll make use of the selection of the girl at some point, you might as well just do it now real quick. So we're also going to need the same background color. So I'm going to get my eyedropper tool. First, I'm going to get the background color. So I'm going to select that background color. It's loaded right here in the front. And I'm going to go to Solid Fill. And it already chooses whatever is the solid fill I picked here. I'm going to hit OK, and I'll drag it behind the girl. Click on this layer, Select, and Subject. Photoshop does a really good job here. And then just click on the mask. And now we have the background separated from her. All right, let's go back to our pixel sorted effect. Command T, and we want the pixels going down. So we're going to hold our Shift button. And you'll have to pick one of these parts I think right here, this part is obviously the best. It has the highest amount of contrast going on, so this will be a good part here. So we're gonna put it just over her face like that, and then Command negative to go out a little bit. Now hold your Shift button and just drag it down until you get it kind of going enough going off. Like that's a good amount, and then hit Enter. Zoom back in. Now what we want to do is start the masking process. So let's lower the opacity here so we can see through it. And the first thing I'm going to do is just use my square marquee tool and get it positioned first the way I want. So we're going to kind of from the edge of her face right here. So I'll select all of this. I'm going to hold my Shift button, come over here, and right there to the edge of her face there, and then hit my mask button, and we want the inverse. So in your mask, Command I. All right, now I can zoom in here. I'll just start with her first. Yeah, start with her face and get my lasso tool and go around the edges of her hair. Like so. All right, and I'm in my mask, and you can either use your black paintbrush, but if black is your background color as well, you can hit Command Delete, and it will fill it with black. Command D to deselect, and we kind of have a harsh edge going on here. So I'm going to get my brush with white selected, and I'm just going to carefully make sure it's not a hard brush, but a soft brush. And I'm just going to hold down my mouse button and click until these hard edges are kind of filled in with the softer feathered brush. There we go. Now I'm going to come down here. Time to mask the pixel effect behind her here. I'm going to use my pen tool for that, because I think it's a little bit easier. If you need to reset the handlebar, don't forget, just hold your Alt or Option button, goes to the anchor point tool and click on it, and it resets that handle. She's got a thumb back here, so don't accidentally go over that. All right, there we've made our path. Make sure path up here is selected and not shape, and then Command return to get a selection, and then we're already in our mask. I have black here, so Command delete to hide it. Now we've also hidden this part back here and a little bit over here as well. Could have done better, but definitely get this part in between her fingers. So I'm going to make another quick selection with my pen tool. Command Enter. Just set white as the background. Command D. Bring that back. And maybe I'll get my brush with the hard edge real quick and paint in. Oh, I was using black. Paint this back in. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I can bring the opacity fully back up. Next thing to do, let's go ahead and increase the contrast a little bit. This is going to be good not only for the pixel effect, but also for her clothes and the rest of the picture. Probably about right there. And let's go ahead and add our gradient effect next. Gradient map. And let's see if there's a good one here. All right, for the sake of this not being a long video, I'll go ahead and choose. I'll go ahead and stick with this one, though I'd probably want to choose a different one. All right, so we got our gradient map going on. Next thing I want to do is add some noise just to her. So I'm going to create a composite, Shift, Alt, Option, Command, E. Turn it into a smart object, filter, noise, add noise. That's a good amount. I'm just looking at it for her. And, you know what? Yeah, no. Well, real quick, maybe I'm going to change the background color of this. Let's see. Yeah, change it to that blue. Makes it stand out a little bit better. All right, Shift, Alt, Option, Command, E. Convert to smart object, filter, noise, add noise. 21's pretty good. Now I'm gonna hold my command button, click to get a selection of her, go inside of my smart filter here, command delete to fill that. Oh, sorry, I want to apply it to her. I want to remove it from the background, so I need to invert this selection. Now it's not her in the background is selected, and because command delete, and there we go. Got it just on her and not on the background. And that's it for this checkpoint.